All right, it's July 7th, 2025. Uranus moved into Gemini. It's at 0 degrees. Wow. It's a really big transit. You know, the last time Uranus was in Gemini was during the World War II era. 1941 to 1949, because it lasts in Gemini for about 8 years. So the last time even before that was when there was the American Revolution back in 1775 to 1781. So you notice the theme here. There's a rebellious nature to this Uranus when it moves zodiac signs. So Uranus is the planet of unexpected change too. It is rebellion. That's why it runs Aquarius. So if you have Aquarius in your chart, like if you're an Aquarius sun like me, or an Aquarius moon, or especially an Aquarius rising, you're going to definitely be feeling this shift. Uranus is going to be bouncing out though back and forth between Taurus and Gemini here a little bit though. But for at least the next 2 months, we are feeling this big shift. You've already started feeling it. Some of you have started moving. You've moved places. You've gotten new jobs. You've done something new with your business. You are associating with new groups. All sorts of things that Uranus can do. And definitely runs technology. And remember, technology, the way we know it, is, you know, the AI and the Wi-Fi and robotics, sure. But back, you know, days back, like for example, in World War II era, we didn't have such things, but our technology was, you know, television. There was jet airplanes being developed and things like that, nuclear power, things like that Uranus runs, okay? So Uranus does also run electricity as well. So there's just a lot of unexpected sort of freedom fighter maybe vibe going on here. And so we're going to discuss from Aries to Pisces what that means in your chart. But before that, I want to talk a little more about Uranus, the awakener, the awakening, disruptive planet. It's innovation too. And there's a feeling of, like I said before, rebellion and freedom as well that we want to do in some part of our lives. So the fact is in Gemini, which is up here, signals, radio signals, telepathy, communication, all this in the air, right? Gemini's an air sign. So we will be definitely seeing new things. And because, you know, there was sort of this war theme back in 1775 decade, and then in the 1941 decade with World War II, the Gemini part of that was marketing, branding, you know, propaganda, communications through the radio. That's Gemini. Lots of this communication vibe and sort of the propaganda. So when it comes to war, like, are we going to get another world war? I don't think it's going to be like the boots and ground type of war that we may have been used to in the past. It's going to be more of technology and information war. That's why cybersecurity is going to be very big. As AI grows and we have these sort of in the air things happening, right? It's more, I think, of an information war, a technology war, a cyber war, if you know what I mean. And there's a lot of electricity with Uranus in there too. So there's going to be more about the cryptocurrency. I think that the old Uranus and Taurus way of actual money, you know, getting the $100 bill from your grandma for her grandson in the birthday card, I think those times are soon becoming over with, and cash is moving away, like physical paper cash, and it's going to be definitely, as we already see, more of the digital currency. And, you know, attention is the new currency as well. How do we gain attention from our people to find us online, all sorts of stuff like that. It's just a whole new world. So the thing with Uranus is you just got to embrace the changes. If you fight the changes, it's going to happen anyways. It's just going to make your life worse if you try to resist everything. So try and go with the flow as best you can and get educated. That's the best way to stop being scared of things, is to educate yourself. Learn a new skill, maybe in technology, in transportation, in cyber security would be really good, for those young people ready to go, what do I do with my life? Well, something in the computers and technology is definitely a good way to go to make a good living. Because, Uranus Gemini is revolution in communication. It's tech. It's our social systems, too, that are shifting. And how we think and how we share information. That's the big thing. And there's new ideas about democracy, about freedom, about government structures. There's just new ideas here. And information sharing, the way we share information changes a lot, too. There's just... we're moving out of some outdated structures here. And sometimes this information can be used as a weapon, but also information can be used as a tool for liberation. And with that, let's get into your forecast from Aries to Pisces and what it means for you. All right, Aries rising, those with their moons in Aries. So this Uranus and Gemini transit's weird. You're going to see weird stuff, right? Because Uranus can be weird. And that's why it rules Aquarius. Also, I'm an Aquarius, so I'm allowed to say this. We're weird. Okay, there's a weirdness. Now, Uranus is in your third house now, okay, for the next 8 years. Well, off and on as it, but anyways, let's just consider it in your third house, which is your communication vibes. Your neighborhoods are changing, okay, Aries. How you learn and what you're learning and teaching is changing. Your local connection. Some of you may move in communities. Some of you have these vehicle issues or new stuff, maybe in the third house as well. But it's a lot about how you think now, how you speak your ideas to the world. There's a little bit of a disruption there when it comes to your neighbors. Maybe there's weird stuff happening with your neighbors, or maybe just a whole new neighborhood for you, Aries. And you'll just have these weird conversations with people, unique and weird conversations. And throughout all this energy of talking and in the mind, it's very overstimulating sometimes. So you'll want to use breath work, okay, Aries? Study breath work and magnesium baths, or take a bath and then put magnesium spray. It'll really do you well, where a lot of us are very deficient in magnesium, and that's an easy way to ground yourself and get calm again. And of course, daily walks, and walking barefoot in the grass is very good for grounding all that energy. That's why they call it the ground. And so you'll want to prioritize, Aries, your mental decluttering, okay? You could journal it out, make lists, things like that. Mental declutter, the stress that comes from all these things. Oh, look at the bottom. Clouds card. This is our Lenormand deck, by the way, the Power of 8 Chakra Lenormand. It comes as a set for only $20. We have a summer Sizzler sale, so check that out on my website, www.themoontree.org. But I see right away, before I even shuffle for you, Aries, that mental fog with the clouds card. Confusion, doubt, and sometimes it gets a little overstimulated up there. So let's see. In your love life, too, Aries, you could make some new connections if you're single through your local classes or community events, okay, with that third house Uranus. And if you are already partnered up with someone, well, your communication patterns might shift a little here. And so try like some tech-free chat time, supper time, no tech allowed, to reconnect. Or maybe just learning something together can refresh your connection. Oh, and if you have a business, Aries, you'll want to start a podcast or a blog, something that you're writing or talking, or a YouTube channel to share your wisdom. Okay, Aries? And you can also offer local workshops. That would be very good for your business, right in your community, right? And that's the third house. And maybe some short digital services or short digital courses or short digital thing, maybe like an ebook or something like that. Okay, Aries. Now let's pull a card from the Lenormand, and we get communication. Of course, third house is communication. 1 + 2 = 3 too in Lenormand. That's funny. Third house of communication, where Uranus is in Gemini, which is a communicative sign. So just a lot of busy communication stuff. Watch for gossip though, and stay away from the stuff you don't need to think about or the overstimulation, and make sure you get lots of rest and relaxation. Okay, Aries? All right, Taurus rising, those with their moons in Taurus. Well, we have Uranus entering your second house of your money, big disruptions in how you make money, how you value yourself, Taurus. And so this is a lot about your self-worth and your resources as well. You're being pushed now with Uranus and Gemini to find new ways to earn money and new ways to value yourself. So you are craving financial freedom at this time for the next 8 years, as Uranus is transiting your second house, Taurus. So you'll want to invest in some supportive tools for this. Maybe some ergonomic chairs. And the second house is a lot about what goes in your mouth, right? So the fresh foods as fuel, and adaptogens for stress relief as well. You could look at too, Taurus. Now, for love, if you're single, Taurus, you can attract new partners now with your evolving values. So you should focus on self-worth healing. The more you value yourself, the more others do, and the more you attract that type of partner. All right, Taurus. Now, if you're already partnered with someone, well, you want to reassess your financial goals together. What are we doing here for money? Explore a budget, a family budget. Explore that with each other. Or you could make a shared vision board. What do we want to vision for the future for us as a couple? That can be very cool to do together as an activity. Now, in business, Taurus, you want to build passive income streams in that second house. Think courses, downloads, do it once, sell it a million times, right? That kind of vibe. And you'll want to reevaluate your pricing now. Does it reflect your true worth? Okay. And, if you're having trouble coming up with prices, it could be because you still have to do some of that self-worth healing in the second house. And Uranus makes you do that through different kinds of unexpected changes and things like that. Now, you can also experiment with selling your crafts. You could sell your intuitive services, and you could maybe even sell your vintage goods as well. All right, so think Etsy and platforms to sell. The second house can be a lot about that passive income and selling as well to make more money. Okay, now let's pull a card for you from the Power of 8 Chakra Lenormand. And these cards are available for our summer Sizzler sale. You get both decks for only $20 plus shipping. So both decks to you for $20. So come check out my website, www.themoontree.org. All right, so let's check. The Lenormand's been chakrified. Let's see for Taurus. Uranus in Gemini. What shall we know for Taurus? We've got the communications, but also we had public. So branding, marketing, selling to the public is coming here because I also got the ship card that fell out, and that's commerce quite often as well. So yes, second house of value. And sometimes it can mean going on a trip to gain a new perspective on your self-worth as well, Taurus. All right, Gemini rising, those with their moons in Gemini. Wow, Uranus in Gemini is right in your first house of the self. Your entire life is changing right now, Gemini, for the next 8 years. And so you need to embrace this change because there's going to be weird, unexpected events that happen to you in who you are as well. It's, the first house, Uranus is lighting up your identity. Your appearance is changing as well. This is a personal reinvention for you, Gemini. It's inviting you to step into a more authentic expression of who you are. All right, so what does this mean? Well, there's style changes. There's makeovers to your body. This can be a really good time to refresh your wardrobe or your hairdo. to reflect this evolving energy with you, Gemini. It's very liberating as well. So go with these changes, go with the flow, go with what your heart, what your soul wants to explore, right? When it comes to health, you'll want to try alternative wellness practices. Uranus and Gemini loves that. This can be sound healing, especially for you, Gemini, and red light therapy. All right. And also doing movements. Make sure you move that body, that self, that first house of the body, right? Make sure you move it. I like to move it, right? Now, when it comes to love life, Gemini, if you're single, you'll be attracting partners who value your freedom and your authentic self, your authenticity, okay? So you'll want to embrace new kinds of dating experiences. Maybe some of the stuff you've tried before didn't work, but it might work now. For example, if you always tried the online dating, well, it might be working now because Gemini and Uranus are both technology. Uranus in Gemini is a very technology combination of talking, communications, and social networking. So that could be a thing. But there could be some new styles of dating. Maybe there's a speed dating in your town or something interesting that you've never tried before, okay? But these people, you'll want to choose those who embrace your and who are attracted to you for your freedom-loving ways now, Gemini. Now, if you're already partnered up with somebody, you'll want to communicate your evolving needs, and you want to embrace shared adventures with your partner. So go on some kind of adventure together. That's going to be very good, Gemini. If you are in business or you have a business, you'll want to refresh your branding, your business cards, your website, your new self, okay? And your online presence, your profiles and all these things. You'll want to refresh them to match your growth. Okay, Gemini, and you'll want to share your personal transformation journey to others in business, okay? Share what you've been through, how you went from point A to Z, and how did you get there, and all that, right? Sharing your story. That's going to be very good, and it's going to be very inspiring to others. As well, in business, you can host lives or maybe some Q&A sessions or some more Zoom group events to connect with your audience. Maybe some contests, Gemini, or maybe a training thing, something like that where it's online and in a group environment can be very good. I just want to let you know, Gemini, you are going to be feeling rebellious because Uranus brings rebellion. Okay, so it's going to be feeling rebellious in the next 8 or so years. And so other people will be like, whoa, I know you're kind of weird already, Gemini, but are you off your rocker? Do you need some mental help? You know what I mean? But don't worry about the naysayers, Gemini. This is time for you to embrace unique, new, authentic experiences that really sing to your soul, okay? This is your video game of life, Gemini. Don't forget, nobody else's. So you do you. Because, you will be shocking some people in the way you do things. They're used to you in a certain way and that. And some Gemini, you might be like ending certain friendships or connections that you had in the past that just kind of are outdated. It's time for new stuff. It's time for new relationships. This is a new you, Gemini. All right, let's pull a card from our deck, the Power of 8, Chakra Lenormand. This is available on sale at our summer Sizzler sale on my website for $20 plus shipping. For both decks, you get them both. All right, so check that out at www.themoontree.org. All right, Gemini, let us see for you what's in store for Uranus in Gemini, your first house of self. This is very exciting. I gotta really make sure I pull the right card here. I have a feeling I'm gonna be shuffling for a bit. Okay, here we go. Number 16, the star. Wishes, dreams. When you wish upon a star. This is a nice card to get. It's also Aquarius flavored, and Uranus runs Aquarius in modern astrology. So there is a lot of this freedom, inventive, in the air ideas, energy for the future, your aspirations, your goals. Like I said, Gemini, you're in a new transit. You're refreshing yourself and your branding and your life in some ways. So this is all about going for your wishes and dreams and your hopes now. This is about you. This is about you. This is about you, Gemini, and that's okay. It's good to be self-ish, meaning of the self at this time, because this is a lot of changes happening for you, with you, so the Star card in Lenormand. And so this is a really good time to decide, what do I want to do with myself now, right? And remember, Gemini, to refresh your branding. All right, Cancer rising, those with their moons in Cancer. I'm a Cancer rising and a Cancer moon, so I totally vibe with you. What's going on with us? Well, Uranus and Gemini is moving into our 12th house. This is where things are repressed and hidden, but it's very spiritual there. So think more mediumship, more psychic, more dreams, all that kind of stuff, because it's really activating our 12th house of the subconscious, right? The spiritual stuff. And also about rest, okay, resting and retreating, and really making friends with our spiritual side and our quantum healing and so many things like that. This is not really an outward energy. The 12th house is more inner. There's a lot of changes going inside of us that we may not necessarily show everybody. And that's okay. It's just the way it is. It's a cycle. So you'll want to prioritize sleep, because during this, Uranus and Gemini for the next 8 years in our 12th house, we are going to have weird sleep cycles. Well, we may have been night owls and now we're going on a routine, or we may have used to wake up at 6 a.m. Now we wake up at 9 a.m. because now we stay up too later than we used to before, or whatever. Like, sleep cycles are disrupted, right? Uranus brings disruptions, but also Uranus is bringing some psychic, and Gemini too, the psychic powers to us, especially through our dreams. Might be a good idea to start dream journaling. These are like psychic, telepathic dreams, so that should be interesting as well. So we want to take naps, prioritize our sleep. And of course, we want to do a lot of meditation to ground all that 12th house energy as well. Okay, lots of meditation will be very good. And by the way, meditation doesn't have to be all like, all the time like that. It can be active meditation where you're doing dishes and you're thinking and you're meditating. You're doing laundry in a quiet room, and you're just doing laundry. You're doing an action, you're walking through a forest, whatever, but there's meditation going on, right? It's called active meditation. So there is that as well. And don't forget to dream journal to navigate those insights. And I would recommend some gentle yoga, okay? And of course, energy healing in the 12th house is very good. And some of you Cancerians might become mediums in the next 8 years because of all that spiritual stuff going on in the 12th house. Very good for hosting retreats if you own your own business, and doing things in the 12th house that support your nervous system. All right. Now, when it comes to love life, if you're single, Cancer, soulful connections will appear unexpectedly. And also, you're going to be going through a time where you're clearing out old patterns when it comes to your relationships. Now, if you're partnered, you should have deep spiritual conversations with your partner. This will strengthen your bond. You'll also want to add a lot of quiet, tech-free time together. Just quiet, sitting out in nature together, sitting without interruption. The quiet and stillness of the 12th house is very nice. Now, in your business, we talked about, hosting behind the scenes sort of things, like a retreat for your people. Or it could be writing that book, behind the scenes writing, behind the scenes course creation, because the 12th house is hidden. It's the hidden stuff we do behind the door, right? So you'll want to heal yourself of limiting beliefs, though, before you launch your big offers. And you want to integrate spiritual elements into your offerings. So check out my courses. I've got some courses that you might be interested in at www.themoontree.org. I also have the cards, our summer Sizzler Power of 8 sale. So for $20 plus shipping, you get both decks delivered to your door with a tracking number. $20 plus shipping for both decks. And so let's pull a card from the Power of 8 Chakra or Lenormand, the power of 8 chakra Lenormand for you, Cancer. Lenormand's been chakrified. Let's see what's going on. 12th house of the spiritual, of the hidden, of the rest and retreat. Now, what do we have here? The moon. Feelings. Yes, the moon is definitely, that 12th house spiritual moon. You are becoming more intuitive. Not that you already aren't so intuitive, Cancer. You're one of the most intuitive people in the zodiac in the first place. But with that 12th house activation with Uranus and Gemini, you're definitely getting more intuition and feelings and spiritual connections as well. Not surprised to become a psychic medium, or anything like that when it has to do with the psychic telepathy realm. All right. So that'll be very interesting, very spiritual indeed, very intuitive. So it's a lot about trusting your intuition now and learning about that for the next 8 years. All right, Cancer. Leo rising, those with their moons in Leo. Uranus and Gemini is in your 11th house for the next 8 years. And that's in your new groups, new associations, new benefactors. So it's the people. This is all about the people for you, Leo. Uranus and Gemini is energizing your 11th house of the friendships, the networks, social networks, and your future dreams, because the 11th house can be in your future hopes, your future dreams, your future aspirations. And this is all about new communities, all right? This is about expanding your vision for the future, Leo. So this is exciting for the next 8 years. Now, because of this community vibe, it would be good for you to join wellness classes with other people or dance. It could be belly dancing or Latin dancing or whatever, Zumba, something like that. But you're moving your body within a community, within a group of people. And this is for joy and for connection. And for your love life, if you're a single Leo ready to mingle, well, romantic sparks may fly when it comes to parties, social groups, social events, friendship groups. You might find the partner through those ways. Like I said, people are your cheat code, okay, Leo, in this game of life. Now, if you're partnered up already, well, you should balance your social life together with the togetherness of as a couple. So balance the social life with the togetherness as a couple, okay? Try group activities together or community involvement together, and that'll be very good for you guys as a couple. Now, Leo, when it comes to business, you're going to want to build like a membership site or something about a membership or a group program or an online community. Think community and how can I connect people together as a Leo. That's where your business stuff's going to happen with Uranus and Gemini. Now, you'll want to collaborate with others. You're not supposed to be a lone wolf, Leo, in this transit. This is about expanding your ideas and your reach by collaborating with other people. So it should be very exciting. Now, Leo, old friends, old acquaintances are probably going to suddenly, end or whatever. And that's okay because you're making room for new ones, totally new people. And it's kind of funny with Uranus because sometimes it does the opposite. So like, let's say you had a bunch of friends who were really conservative and, tight-lipped and that inward and introverted people maybe. Well, now with Uranus and Gemini, the people now that you're attracting to hang out with are the extroverts, the weirdos like me or whatever, the loud people. And then vice versa. If you're used to being around loud, crazy people, well, now you're going to be attracting quieter, softer people. So sometimes Uranus can do that as well. But in any case, the people that you socialize with in all sorts of ways are changing. Okay, let's pull a card from the Power of 8 Chakra Lenormand. These are on sale right now, our summer Sizzler sale. So $20 gets you both decks plus shipping, okay? $20 for both decks with a tracking number to your door within US and Canada. All right, so let's pull a card for Leo from the Power of 8 Chakra Lenormand. And let's see for Leo, for Uranus in Gemini. watch the beginning of this video to learn, what the heck Uranus and Gemini is all about too. Oh, we've got the whip. Now this card can mean different things. The whip can mean conflict. So there could be conflicts with your networks, your groups, your verbal conflict in some way, arguments, debates, that kind of thing with the people. Right? So it's good to remember to listen to everybody's points of view and not to let yourself be, have some boundaries about how people talk to you as well, Leo. Okay. So that'll be good. Now, this can also mean like an exercise thing. And we talked about getting into exercise groups or dance or Zumba or whatever with the people, right? And that's opening new doors for connection and opportunities as well. So it could be an exercise thing as well. So that's interesting too. All right, Virgo rising, those with their moons in Virgo. Wow, we've got Uranus and Gemini in your 10th house of career. So for the next 8 years, Uranus and Gemini is lighting up your 10th house of career and public visibility, okay? This is really prompting changes in your professional path. And also in your reputation, Virgo, as well. So when it comes to the health things, you want to balance your work with stretch breaks, with making sure you have an ergonomic setup, that you're not sitting for too long, or that you have an ergonomic chair maybe, or you have the right footwear that is comfortable and healing and stuff like that, right? And make sure you're not always sitting, make sure you move a lot as well, that'll be good for your health at work. Now, when it comes to your love life, okay, because this is such a public facing sort of placement here. If you're single, you'll probably meet partners through your work. Suddenly somebody gets hired and you're like, who's that? And you fall in love, right? You know what I mean? It could be that. Or maybe you're just at some public facing activity and that's where you meet the partner. Okay. And then if you're already partnered up, you already have a relationship, well, your career changes that are taking place for the next 8 years, Virgo, can affect your routines with your partner. So you want to maintain the open conversations with each other to align your schedules. Now, when it comes to business, Virgo, be open to new career pivots in these next 8 years, okay? New public-facing roles. You're more of a public, in the eyes of the public now. And also teaching opportunities. Watch for that, okay, Virgo? And you'll want to integrate tech tools into your work, into your business, to streamline your workflow. And I know some of you are already doing that, Virgo. You've already gotten some new piece of technology that is helping you streamline your business in some way, and this is good. All right, let's pull a card from the Power of 8 Chakra Lenormand. Okay, this comes as a set, by the way, our summer Sizzler sale. And for $20, you get both decks plus shipping. Okay. And if you live in Peace River, let me know. Just text me later and I'll help you with that if you live already in Peace River. Okay. Now, let's pull a card from the Power of 8 Chakra Lenormand. Oh, and you can go to my website, www.themoontree.org, to purchase the cards, all right? Okay, let's see. Oh, see, work. Look at that. Uranus in your 10th house of work. And here's a work card, the fox, often about entrepreneurial work, soulpreneur work. So that looks cool. In some cases, the fox can mean watch out for cunning, sly, sort of sneaky people. But I don't really like to focus on that stuff because the more you focus on something, the more it's going to happen. So it's better just to think of this as new opportunities in the 10th house of work with the fox card, okay? And using the fox cunningness to think of new innovative ways to do your business, to do your work, and to increase your reputation and to increase your visibility. That can be what the fox can mean as well. Also, it's orange sacral chakra. Do things that bring you joy, right? Is your job, is your career, is your business bringing you the joy? We want to do that. Uranus and Gemini is definitely going to make you think about that. All right, Libra rising, those with their moons in Libra. Uranus and Gemini is activating your 9th house. This is very exciting because this is about higher vision. It's about expanding your horizons. your belief systems are definitely changing, Libra. This is highlighting your house of travel, long distance trips, overseas clients, cultural things, exploring new cultures, new philosophies, new territories, all that, expanding your horizons along the way. It can be very a learning thing. I could see a lot of you Libras too with that ninth house activation, getting your doctorate or getting your PhD or your master's. Okay, now Libra. Because travel is such a big part of the ninth house, and Uranus and Gemini is bringing you lots of travel. Travel and wellness retreats are so good for your health. It refreshes your spirit. Okay, Libra. So for the next 8 years, explore that and explore practices like Ayurveda or Qigong or these holistic, ways of healing. It'll be very, very cool, Kind of reminds me of a little bit of a hippy dippy vibe, but in an energy healing kind of way. Okay, Libra. Now let's talk about love. If you're single, Libra, romance will likely arrive through travel. If you go someplace, especially overnight somewhere, you will, or if you're in a shared learning environment, like at college, university, or within a group learning session on Zoom even, you might meet someone. But it is through these travel or through these shared learning experiences that you will likely meet someone if you're single, Libra. Now, if you're already in a relationship, you'll want to plan a trip together. You'll want to explore spiritual practices too as a couple. Now, Libra, if you own your own business, you'll want to expand internationally now for the next 8 years. This is through teaching. This is through courses. This is through holding retreats maybe, or through some online programs. So start thinking about that. Also, the ninth house is about publishing. Good time in the next 8 years to publish your own oracle cards. We'll be talking about these in a second. Publishing your own cards, publishing your own book, publishing something as well, okay? Or you could start a podcast. That could be really cool too for you as well. Okay, Libra. Now, speaking of cards, publishing, we have published these ones, the Power of 8 Chakra Lenormand and the Power of 8 Chakra Oracle, and we do have a summer Sizzler sale right now for $20 plus shipping. You get both decks delivered to your door with a tracking number via Canada Post. So this is for Canadians and Americans as well, $20 plus shipping. All right, now let's pull a card from the Power of 8 Chakra Lenormand. Lenormand's been chakrified. All right. Let's see. Ninth house for you, Libra. Wow. Sunshine, tropical adventures, success in many things. The more you learn, the more you travel, the more you explore, Libra, the more success comes to you. And we've got the orange sacral chakra for having passion and life and creativity. And we also have the confidence of the yellow solar plexus chakra, the confidence, the bravery to go exploring and to reach for the stars and have that success that you deserve, Libra. All right, Scorpio rising, those with their moons in Scorpio. Ooh, Uranus in Gemini is in your 8th house of transformation and your other money for the future, your investments, all sorts of things. Let's talk about it. Okay. Uranus in Gemini is energizing for you, Scorpio, your 8th house of transformation, your 8th house of intimacy, okay, and shared resources, bringing sudden shifts in your emotional bonds and in your financial bonds. Okay, so let's talk about this. The 8th house is deep inside the tissues, the subconscious, so you'll want to focus for health on emotional detox, okay? Therapy, EFT, tapping, lymphatic massage. You could do that yourself right under the lymph nodes. When people go lymph node poke and you're like, oh, that hurts right there. Yeah, that's the spot that needs to be massaged. It's your lymph nodes. Stay hydrated, okay, Scorpio? And prioritize the breath work. Learn about breath work, okay? Now, when it comes to love life, with that Uranus in your 8th house, you're going to get some intense, transformative relationships if you're single. They may arise here teaching you about trust and intimacy. Now, if you're already partnered up, Well, financial dynamics, intimacy dynamics may shift in some way, and some good, some bad. So you want to have honest dialogue with each other, honest chats, honest conversations, and deeper than superficial with each other. Okay, Scorpio, this is key for you. Now, when it comes to business, joint ventures can bring new income streams. Joint ventures can bring new investment opportunities as well. If you own your own business, especially in the spiritual space, you'll want to offer transformational services that are aligned with your intuitive gifts. So this is no longer about, oh, I'm going to give you a reading for your future. This is more about, I'm helping you transform. We're going to transform you from A to Z. This is what it's going to look like, and here's my offer. It's more about getting deep with your transformation when it comes to your business, transforming the clients and focusing on the transformation, how they feel, how they felt here at the starting and how they're gonna feel after they work with you, right? You're focusing on that 8th house of intimacy, right? And of joint togetherness and things like that. Now, let's pull a card for you, Scorpio, Uranus, and Gemini. And we've got the Power of 8 Chakra Lenormand and the Power of 8 Chakra Oracle. These are on sale on my website, www.themoontree.org. It's our summer Sizzler sale for $20 plus shipping. You get both decks, all right, with the tracking numbers. So I believe in tracking numbers. I don't like things getting lost in the mail. Okay, so let's pull a card for you, Scorpio, from the Power of 8. All right. Let's knock 3 times and see Uranus in the 8th house for you. Okay. We've got some obstacles there during your transformation. There may be Uranus wants to get through the obstacles about being intimate with people, sharing and trusting with people. Your intimacy bond, your shared resources, your money for the future. They want to, we want to get rid of that blockage and the blockage of the mountain and the blockage of being able to sail through the transformation, right? And also in your business and your business money as well. There's obstacles that Uranus and Gemini want you to look at and how to shift to a more free, go with the flow sort of vibe instead of resisting like the mountain. Like the mountain likes to resist and push back and that, but the energy of the 8th house is watery. It's water. It's run by Scorpio, and Uranus is in your 8th house. So there's a lot of Scorpio vibe here, which is watery and intimate and deep and free flowing like this water. So the ship, how do we make ourselves float and go with the flow and be able to freely transform and be able to let ourselves go to be intimate with other people and to trust people again, right? And to let it go and flow. And there can be also stuff about your money in there too. Like in Chinese astrology, water rules wealth. So how do we work on our wealth matters in the 8th house with Uranus and Gemini, right? This could be looking at techno investments, maybe cybersecurity investments, cryptocurrency investments, and starting to learn a little more about the Uranus and Gemini vibe of technology when it comes to money. Okay, so there's different things you can look at there as well. But for now, it's really important to detox emotionally, Scorpio, so that you can get over any obstacles of intimacy and transformation and be able to flow through and move in your business, in your money, in your transformation, nice and free with the ship. All right, so come see me for a reading if this intrigues you. All right, Sagittarius rising, those with their moons in Sagittarius, Uranus and Gemini is activating your 7th house of one-on-one relationships, other people, your partnerships. Could be business partnerships, could be spousal relationships, that kind of thing. Also contracts. So for the next 8 years, Uranus is inviting you to change how you connect with other people. All right, Sag. When it comes to health, let's talk about health. Relationship stress in that 7th house can impact your health. So you'll want to have clear Gemini communication. Clear communication is vital for you, Sag, for the next 8 years. Now, shared fitness activities. So sharing fitness activities with someone else can strengthen bonds as well. Okay? Going for walks with friends, adding friends to the mix, adding a special someone. Even, walking dogs, so you're not alone. I don't know, something like that where you're feeling like you're with someone. And then when it comes to love life with Uranus and Gemini, if you're single, unexpected partnerships can develop. And you'll want to be open to these unconventional connections. People that maybe you're not used to in your usual patterns of relationships. Totally new stuff here. If you're already partnered with someone, you'll want to try new experiences together because you guys are, you're going to want to crave the freedom, but you'll also want to maintain your connection with each other. So try new things together, new experiences together. That'll be very good for you indeed, Sagittarius. When it comes to business, collaborations with other people, joint projects thrive. Working with other people's resources. For example, sometimes I do readings at the Bodhi Tree or at Valley Health, and we have a system that they get a percentage of my readings revenue, right? So I'm using their space, their stuff, they're building and whatever, but so it's a win-win. How do we find a win-win in business with these joint collaborations? Consider partnerships for your offerings, partnering with someone else in your space, right? Let's say I don't do animal communication, but I know a girl named Julie, maybe we could offer a package together, an intuitive reading with animal communication. Like we're partnering together in an offering, right? So think that. And you'll want to use networking, of course, to expand your reach when it comes to business and career. Okay, Sagittarius, let's pull a card. Okay, so this is from our decks, the Power of 8 Chakra Lenormand mixed with the Power of 8 Chakra Oracle. All right, these do come as a set for $20 plus shipping. Okay, and that's our Summer Sizzler sale. It's hard to say. Summer Sizzler sale. So come join me at www.themoontree.org to find out more about these wonderful cards. And so Lenormand's been chakrified. So let's pull a card for you, Sagittarius, from the Power of 8 Chakra Lenormand. In your 7th house of relationships and contracts, commitments. Ooh, look at that. Making big decisions with the scythe. Sometimes these decisions can be hard to make. Some of you will be breaking up during this year, next 2 months here as Uranus is in the 0 degree. I wouldn't be surprised if you're breaking contracts, breaking commitments that no longer serve, or you're just making new decisions here. Strong decisions to cut away the fluff, and to make good decisions for the future and to clear the way, clear your horizons, and some of you will be breaking certain contract commitments and partnerships as well, making that decision in order to move forward. Okay, so that's fine. All right, Capricorn rising, those with their moons in Capricorn. Let's talk about Uranus in Gemini in your 6th house. So this means that Uranus in Gemini is energizing for you, Capricorn, your 6th house of health, your 6th house of daily routines, and how you serve others. It's really pushing you to innovate your lifestyle in a new way, innovate your work methods in a new way, Capricorn, especially about the health. Okay, it's going to disrupt you and make you're going to notice things about your health in the next 8 years that really need to be re-energized or paid attention to. You're going to want to embrace alternative wellness treatments, Capricorn. This can be herbal remedies. This can be fasting, which would be a very good thing to research. Fasting and functional medicine as well. And you'll want to establish a very flexible but supportive routine. You're going to need a lot of room to flow and be flexible in your in your life, okay? And less stress, the better for your 6th house of health. Now let's talk about love life, Capricorn. If you're single, you will probably meet people in wellness communities of some sort. Maybe you'll meet him at the gym, her at the gym, him or her at the gym. Okay. Or like in your daily life, like suddenly maybe you go to Starbucks every morning before work and suddenly, you meet the love of your dreams there at Starbucks. I mean, it can be that. Uranus can bring unexpected events. Also with the 6th house, it can be about, pets or animals in some way through horses or maybe some kind of SPCA, animal rescue. I don't know, stuff like that with the 6th house. That could be where you meet someone. Or in any kind of alternative wellness space. Maybe you'll fall in love with your naturopath. I don't know. It could be anything like that. But it's the wellness communities and the day-to-day life stuff. That's where you're probably going to meet someone if you're single. Now, Capricorn, if you're already partnered up, well, you're going to want to align your wellness goals together. You're going to want to prioritize time for your physical wellness in between your busy schedules. Okay? It's very important to make time for your health together. Now, business. You'll want to automate stuff, Capricorn. The 6th house is all about improving the system. We talked about improving this body, which is a system, but there's also systems at work, your day-to-day life systems. You'll want to streamline them for efficiency. Streamline your workflow for efficiency. Automation. What can we automate in our business? Now, you'll want to pivot to flexible offerings in the next 8 years, Capricorn, with Uranus in your 6th house. And when it comes to your business, you'll want to pivot to flexible offerings. You're not going to want to be caught in a certain thing, a certain box. And you'll want to be making flexible offerings that you don't feel trapped into something. Like, I'm pretty sure you're not going to be wanting to get people on for a whole year or I don't know, like the big commitment things, like you have to go on Zoom every week. I'm not sure you're going to really want to do that, Capricorn. I think that you want to be offering things to your clients and your patients that is very flexible for you. Okay, now, speaking of flexible, Capricorn, it would be a good idea to do the flexibility a little bit, getting flexible every day, like gentle flexibility training to get more flexible. That's going to really help you in your health as well. Flexible in the body means flexible in life. It's very good for you. All right, let's pull a card. Okay, so these are the Power of 8 Chakra Lenormand, which comes with the Power of 8 Chakra Oracle together as a set for $20. It's our summer Sizzler sale. Check it out, www.themoontree.org. $20 for the set plus shipping with a tracking number right to your door. All right, so let's pull a card for you, Capricorn, from the Power of 8 Chakra Lenormand. Knock 3 times to get the energy off from the previous. Okay, Capricorn, Uranus, and Gemini, 6th house. What can we know here? Oh, the woman. Look, the woman is moving, right? She's flexible. She looks pretty free. She looks not stressed, right? The 6th house, Uranus, Gemini, that can be a stressful thing with a lot of, mental health things as well, right? We want to work on the stress, the mental health, being flexible, automation, running your systems better in the day-to-day life and at work and all those kind of stuff we talked about, right? Automating and streamlining your workflow for efficiency and really working on that body and health, okay, of the 6th house. Come see me for a reading, Capricorn, if you liked this and are intrigued to learn more. Aquarius rising, those with their moons in Aquarius. Of course, I always get excited about Aquarius because I am one. Go Team Aquarius, all right? So let's look at Uranus in your 5th house for the next 8 years. So this is great for us. I like this. Uranus rules us Aquarians, so there's a vibe there already. Okay. And so Uranus is in Gemini is activating our 5th house of creativity, of fun, of romance, of children, and of our entrepreneurial business as well. I find the 5th house has a lot to do with, especially if you're a business owner, an entrepreneur, a soulpreneur. This is encouraging more freedom and innovation and joy and self-expression. Okay, so this is really, really good for us. So, creative outlets like painting, like dancing, and especially music will support our emotional health when it comes to Uranus in Gemini. Sound healing could be very beneficial as well. Now, let's talk about the love life. If you're single, Aquarius, and ready to mingle, sudden, fun romances may enter. So you want to embrace your playfulness side. Also, because the 5th house has to do with hobbies. It could be that you meet the love of your life or a new partner through some kind of sports team or through some kind of hobby thing. As well, because children are in the 5th house, it could be that you're taking your kids somewhere and you meet the love of your life somewhere where there was a kid event, right? But they're sudden and they're fun. So that's good for romance. Now, if you're partnered up already, Aquarius, you'll want to add spontaneity to your relationship with like surprise dates. Honey, I have a surprise for you. We're going on a date, and something cool and fun and exciting. Okay. It can also be good, Aquarius, if you're in a partnership to do some creative joint thing together. Like do it together, make something together, do it together. That'll be fun. Now, in business, Aquarius, you'll want to launch new creative offers and new signature offers, okay? This can be new art, new courses, maybe a signature offer or a workshop could be very good. Something creative, that'll be fun. And in business, you'll want to express how unique you are. You're very unique, Aquarius, okay? And you'll want to express that in all that you do, whether it's on YouTube or whether it's on lives or however you market your business or however or even if you're in a career already, not your own business, well, you'll want to express your uniqueness. This is a good time for that. All right, Aquarius, let's pull a card for you from the Power of 8 Chakra Lenormand. It comes as a set right now with the Power of 8 Chakra Oracle Pink. You can learn more about these cards at www.themoontree.org. We have a summer Sizzler sale. $20, you get both decks. $20, both decks, plus shipping. And it comes with a tracking number from Canada Post. So within Canada or US, $20 plus shipping gets you the cards. Now, let's pull a card from the Power of 8 Chakra Lenormand. All right, check it out. It's soft touch, feels like a dolphin skin. Let's knock 3 times to knock off the energy from the previous. Okay, Aquarius. We're going to shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. I'll do one more shuffle. Okay, Aquarius, what do we need to know? Ooh, the lily, the wisdom. This is very interesting. This is also about learning from our elders, all right? So for the next 8 years, we are getting a new spiritual wisdom. We're enjoying the life, satisfaction in life, okay? And I think it's like a lot about embracing the fun in life as well. Now, because the 5th house is attached to the 11th house of your hopes, wishes, and dreams for a better future, that could tie into this card. But also the 11th house across from the 5th house is your friends, your networks, social networks. So I know that you're going to be meeting a lot of new people, okay, Aquarius, who are wiser than you perhaps, or very spiritual people. And that with the lily, the wisdom card, you see the crown chakra purple. That's that connection. That's that psychic stuff. That's that soul connections too, and connections to all that is. And the green is the heart chakra for the love of life, the passion for life. So that looks really cool for us. I'm very excited to see what Uranus, which we never know what's actually going to bring. It's so unexpected. So we'll see. Come see me for a reading, Aquarius, at www.themoontree.org. All right, Pisces. Pisces rising, those with their moons in Pisces. Uranus is in your 4th house. Okay, so for the next 8 years, there is a lot of activation in your 4th house of the home, the family, your real estate, your emotional foundations, your parents, how you grew up, your living environment especially, and your inner world. Now, when it comes to health, Uranus in Gemini asks you to realize that your home environment impacts your well-being. That means it's time to declutter. That means it could be time to redecorate. It could be time to move houses, like moving houses for some. Okay, Pisces, and especially Pisces rising people. Now, it can also mean maybe renovating something in the house. It could be that you're preparing a room for Airbnb, to have your own Airbnb. All sorts of things it can be about the house change. It could also be that, you know, your parents are going through their in the next 8 years some kind of changes in their lives, big changes. Okay, so but especially for you Pisces, your home environment, your home needs to be your sanctuary. So declutter as needed, beautify as needed, and you'll also want to prioritize emotional healing. Emotional healing is going to support your physical health, Pisces. Emotional healing. All right. Now, let's talk about your love life, Pisces. If you're single, you'll be attracting nurturing partners. And you'll want to clear family patterns of the past to welcome new aligned love. Now, if you're already partnered, Pisces, you're going to probably be having some changes in your home, or some changes in the family dynamics. This requires adaptability, okay, Pisces? And you'll want to create a cozy, safe home together. Like I said before, there's a vibe here of my home is my sanctuary. Now, changes in the home for you, Pisces, can mean a lot of things. Maybe someone's moving back in, like one of your kids is moving back in, or moving out to go to university, or it could mean that there's changes within the family in some way. Who knows? Now, when it comes to business, consider home-based businesses, or consider online services, okay, for flexibility. A lot of you Pisceans are going to want to start your own home business, or maybe work from home more. Okay. And also real estate businesses can thrive. Getting into real estate, or something that is home focused services. Now, maybe you're not a Pisces sun, moon, or rising, but you might have a Pisces midheaven. That's like a good place to look at what's a good job, and I have a Pisces midheaven. And so it's funny because just recently I started another side business, and it's home sitting and it's babysitting. Well, my son just got his babysitter's license, so he's going to be, the babysitter part, and I'm the home and pet sitting part and all that stuff. And, it's just another add-on to what I already do in my life. But real estate or home-focused services business can thrive, for the next 8 years. Okay, Pisces? Now, let's pull a card from the Power of 8 Chakra Lenormand. This is on sale with the Power of 8 Chakra Oracle. They come together as a set for only $20 plus shipping to US or Canada. It's only $20. Come check it out, www.themoontree.org. All right, let's pull a card from the Power of 8 Chakra Lenormand. We'll knock 3 times to get the energy off from the past. All right, Pisces, with Uranus and Gemini in your 4th house of home and family, let's see. Ooh, a commitment. All right. This could be talking about a new commitment within the home, a new commitment when it comes to your family. It could be the contract that you had with someone in your home is ending or changing, or starting a new contract in the home in some way. There's so many things that the ring could be, but it's this contract commitment that you're going through when it comes to home, family, real estate. Okay, so you will make the right decisions, because remember, Gemini, that sign that Uranus is in, loves to learn, loves to look at both sides, right? Gemini, the twins, loves to look at different sides. And, some of you Pisceans are looking at new home contracts, maybe a new mortgage, maybe it's moving, maybe it's a new commitment is coming up with your kids within the home. And maybe it's looking at your past patterns, right? What are you locked into subconsciously from the patterns you've taken over the years? And how can we get out of that patternship? Uranus loves to break patterns. Uranus loves to break the old ways and start a new thing. So it could be about that as well. Looking at it could be within the home too, looking at all your services that, your satellite and your, could I save money? Could I get a better deal? Or in the home, it could be like, can I make one of my rooms into an Airbnb and make more money, right? Can I create new contracts and commitments that way? Like, there's so many things that this can mean, but it's definitely taking a look at that, the real estate stuff and home and family commitments as well. All right, and there is your Uranus in Gemini forecast. Come see me at www.themoontree.org for readings, courses, and much, much more, and especially check out our summer Sizzler sale. $20 for both decks plus shipping. All right. I'm Trina, your intuitive guide with Chakra Vibe, helping you navigate life's energies. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.